Yo, Carrot Attack podcast for myself, Daps. Guys, man, listen. So a couple things, housekeeping before I get into it. So first of all, I went to the SJA awards, which is the sports journalism. It's like media awards and everything. And obviously, that's not normally my setting. I just kind of do my content and I just live my life. But I'm really trying to actually just at least network and work with more people and do more. So I went there and it was just weird, like the amount of people who recognize me or know who I am in those spaces. I'm talking about reputable journalists and stuff. Like Laura Woods is coming up to me saying she likes my stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you haven't already seen on my Instagram at DapoCEO, go and check out the picture with me and Laura. We look quite, you'd think that we knew each other. Trust me, we don't know each other like that. No, but the picture looks good. Also, yeah, you know, it was nice to have some sort of recognition in those spaces to know that what I'm doing ain't in vain and people actually like look and whatever. So what I've realized is that I've taken my eye off the ball. That's a moment of honesty, but we're back and we're better. So I keep saying the guests are gonna come, the guests are going to come, but I'm just, because I've got so much going on outside in the real world, like sometimes I just think, oh, let me just put this out and it'll be fine. But yeah. So now what we're going to do from now on, yeah, for 1 month, and you guys have to hold me accountable to this, yeah, for 1 month straight, just to see how it works, we are going to do a video every day. Oh my gosh. Every day we're gonna put out a video for 1 month, and we're gonna see this grow. So every day you're gonna get, it might be 10 minutes, it might be half an hour, but we're gonna do something. So, and also we're gonna get the lives back. So I'm gonna do watch-alongs, watching the match and whatnot. I might try to do one this weekend. I don't know who's playing this weekend, but I'll check. So, yeah. So we're doing all of that. So here we go, guys. First one. Oh gosh. Just make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, and I need, if we're going to be doing this, I need the comments to let me know, because sometimes there's nothing to talk about. So, and that's going to cover international break. So those days there's going to be nothing to talk about. So just, I need the comments. I need you guys to give me topics and whatnot. And we're going to do that. So I'm going to do a giveaway as well with a signed shirt. So yeah, we're gonna have all of that done. But yeah, listen, I'm just going to do a quick one. Chelsea obviously won yesterday 2-0 against Dortmund. And it's interesting seeing how with that win, and don't get me wrong, it was an important win, but it's interesting seeing that with that win, everyone's saying that Chelsea are now back, the season starts now, you know, all their problems are gone. And if I'm being totally honest, I don't think Dortmund did enough to even warrant the win. And I feel like, obviously, it's always difficult going away to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, but I felt like Dortmund could have done more and could have brought more to the game. You can see, even with Jude Bellingham, I'm going to talk about Jude Bellingham. Even with Jude Bellingham, we can see that he has to do a lot in that team. Sorry, Jude Bellingham has to do a lot in that team, and I would have liked to have seen, you know, more from his teammates. But if we focus on Chelsea, I think that's the best I've seen Havertz play in a while. I said on the podcast, I think last week or the week before, that I need to see more from Havertz. But, you know, haven't really been seeing it. He looked lively. He looked like he was up for the game. Sterling looked good. Again, I said to people, I don't understand the Sterling disrespect, because he is a very, very good player. And people need to remember how good of a player this is. But I feel like because he's been around for so long and whatnot, and he might not always be the most cultured player or the most flamboyant or the one with the most ability, let's just say, or technically gifted players, you know, we kind of put him down. But we need to remember who Sterling is. And to be honest, you know, Chelsea finally got their win. Quarter-final again. I think it's like their 12th time in their history or something like that they've managed to I might be wrong, but I feel like that's right. That they've managed to get to the quarterfinal, and Potter has said that was his most important win. And to be honest, I think that win might have just brought him some time. I do feel though, like the more and more I see it, I feel like it is a bit of a stopgap. Like he is a bit of a stopgap. I feel like they're already looking at potential new managers, so maybe they're just trying to hold off to the end of the season, finish the season strong. But if we just forget that for now and just concentrate on the fact that they've won, I think some real positives. Wesley Fofana, he was always been a good defender, but obviously he's come to Chelsea and had injury problems and whatnot. But when he's there at the back, they just look so much better. When Koulibaly looked all right yesterday. Chilwell had a good game, and I'm not Chilwell's biggest fan, if I'm being totally honest. But I felt like Chilwell was nice and steady on that side. And Reece James is. I'm running out of words to say for Reece James, because he is. If Reece James was from a different country, we would rate him more, honestly, because he's such a good player, and you notice straight away like how he improves that team. You notice straight away how he lifts the team up, and yeah, fair play to them. But what I did want to touch on, seeing as we're talking about Chelsea, is Mason Mount. There's been stories. There's been stories coming out lately that Mason Mount has turned down a contract offer, and he's been linked with Liverpool. And I find it interesting that that's the case, because part of it is obviously he's probably seen, I don't know if he's thinking about leaving. I know he's rejected the contract. Well, I don't know that, but they say he's rejected the contract. And I wonder if he's starting to feel like if he's valued at Chelsea, because you hear a load of fans going at him all the time, asking him for more, are saying that he's not doing anything, saying that he needs to be dropped. And it's been going on for a while. And I wonder if that's just kind of, in his mind a bit. But then also, he has to have some accountability and say, it's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why I believe like people get onto him. It's because he plays week in, week out and offers very little at times. And that's not to say he's not a good player, because I've seen times with Mason Mount's proved me wrong a couple of times, where I've looked at him and I'm like, no, Mason Mount, you're actually a very good player, but you don't see it enough. And I think a lot of that has to do with what is his position. I feel like a lot of managers come and he's a manager's dream probably. He does the best in training, he works hard, and you give him a job, he's probably going to do it. But you just wonder, what is his favourite position? Is it in the 8? Is it in the 6? Is it coming off the wings? Like, what is it? I feel like he needs to find time to actually nail down a position and excel at it, because they've made all of these signings. So we're seeing Felix coming, and Felix went off yesterday. I couldn't believe that change, to be totally honest, but it is what it is. We're seeing Felix coming, and you can see Felix is a different level. Like, Mount is here, Felix is operating at a higher level. So there's no way you can warrant playing Mount over Felix. But then you also see like an Enzo, and I know they're totally different positions, but we're seeing the level. But then if you want to play Mount in the Kovacic position as he played yesterday, you can't do that, because again, I feel like Kovacic is a different level. So I feel like Mason Mount is probably at a point where he's looking around at the team, and does he fancy that fight? Does he fancy going to war with Yao Felix, with Kovacic, with even Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Does he fancy that fight? Because I feel like he's had a lot of favour. Not to say he's not a good player again, but he's had a lot of favour, and I just think he probably looks at it and just thinks, I better get out of it. I can't see myself getting the opportunities like I have been as the time goes on. And Chelsea are probably just going to buy more players. He's not going to get in anywhere on the wings, that's for sure. He's not going to get in as a striker, because that's not his position. So you just wonder, where does he fit into this team? And hearing talks of Liverpool may be interesting. I don't know, that's probably the agent trying to do the most just to make it happen. But he's probably thinking, do you know what? Like, if you're going to give me the contract, give me the big contract. But if you're not going to give me that big contract and guarantee certain things, then I I could just go. And where he's English, he's not going to struggle to find a team. So yeah, I feel like Chelsea also they might be to blame for not, like I said, utilizing him properly. But who knows? Who knows? Honourable shout out to Kepa as well. Kepa's been really, really good for me since he's come in. He will have his moments, but I honestly believe he's better than Mendy. And I've never been convinced, even when Mendy was in with a shout of Ballon d'Or, I've never really been convinced of that. So yeah, but also I touched on Bellingham earlier on, and I think Bellingham is, you can see every year the media makes someone sound a bit nasally. Every year the media makes someone the hot property of the summer. This year is Bellingham. Everyone's after Bellingham. All the top teams are after Bellingham. And I honestly, looking at the pricing, I'm hearing 150 mil. And all round 90, a page on Instagram, all round 90 even touched on it. Like, these prices are getting out of control. Like, no one in world football, I said this last week, no one in world football, apart from Mbappe, is worth 150 mil. Do you get what I'm saying? And teams need to honestly have a look at what they're doing. And if it means that he just stays. And the thing is, Dortmund have every right to ask for that money, because you're seeing the money that people are willing to pay for players who are less, like, have less ability or just not as good as Bellingham. And they're like, look, pay us some money. And if they find someone silly enough to pay that money, they'll bite their hand off. If not, if they can still get a cheeky 100 mil, if they can still get a cheeky 90 mil, then do it. But the price are getting silly, and it has to stop. But I don't know if you guys feel like it's going to stop, or if it can be stopped. Who are the 100 million players, £100 million players that are about right now? Also, Marco Reus, I didn't like that performance yesterday. I didn't like it. Very quickly as well, before I go, this was a quick one, but every day we're going to do it. Man United, Liverpool. I mean, so much has been said by now about that result, so I'm not going to really touch on it. I'm not going to really break it down. What I will say in regards to United is that it has been coming. I don't know about the 7-0 though, but a battering has been coming. I feel like Rashford's goals have covered up a lot of things. So there's been games where Rashford has literally bailed them out. That is factual. Like, we've all seen the games, and I feel like if Rashford had an off game and the rest of the team weren't at it, that was always going to happen. They were always going to get beat against Liverpool, who looked like they were up for it. And Bruno Fernandes, a lot has been said about him. Ten Hag's come out and said he's still my captain. I still expected him to be the captain. I still expected that. I didn't expect them to be strict to the captaincy, but I don't know. I think it was highlighted. His behaviour was highlighted more because of the 7-0. When really and truly, anyone that knows me knows, I've always said that he's petulant. He does way more running around crying than he does actually delivering on the pitch. And I'm not having that. I think he thinks he's better than he is. He needs to do more. I didn't like that. I don't like seeing people push linesmen and, like, no, just play football. Like, his head was gone. But hopefully, for the sake of him and whatever, he can cut that out, because there is a player in there. I don't want to act like there's not a player in there at all, but I see way too much of that on Sunday. What I saw on Sunday, I've seen way too much of that to even say, yeah, but the player, nah, not having that. Arsenal, last minute win. Listen, I would have loved to just whacked Bournemouth 6-0. But at the end of the day, yes, Arsenal need to clean up. They need to stop conceding goals, but they keep winning. And in the 12 games left, it's going to be tough. The running, this is where we see how on it the team are. I do honestly believe that Man City will drop points, but I also believe Arsenal will drop points. I'd love Arsenal to just go and win all 12 games, but I do believe that both teams will drop points. And is there enough? Have Arsenal, that 5-point gap, is that enough for Arsenal to to be able to drop points and go on and win the league. It remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. But yeah, I don't know. What else? Is there anything else I need to touch on, guys? Let me quickly have a look. And oh, actually, do you know what? This is very random. This is very, very random, yeah. I did also I thought to myself, yeah, Nottingham Forest, yeah, have made all these subs, and I'm friends with Lau Taylor, and Lau hasn't asked me to say this or whatnot, but I look at Nottingham Forest, I look at the attacking options they brought in, and then I wonder why they don't even give Lyle a look in. Do you get what I'm saying? And Lau, he shows up, he trains, he does his job like how he's supposed to be. He's a model pro, but I don't even know if he's even part of the Premier League squad. But they just don't even give him a look in. Other players have come in, they've been given a chance, but for whatever reason, he just doesn't get a chance. And I think it's shocking that that's the case. I'm assuming they didn't allow him to go out. They didn't allow him to go out on loan as well during or make a move to a championship club during the window. And I just don't know what's going on there. And I just think that when you look at the players who are actually doing it for them, bar Morgan Gibbs White, a lot of the players doing it for them are players that have been there. Like when you look at Brennan Johnson, he's been there. When you look at who's that flipping midfielder? I don't know, whoever their captain is, yeah. Like he's been there. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes you just need players who have been at the club, players who have know-how and who know what it means. Like when you're bringing up, no disrespect to Emmanuel Dennis, no disrespect to Awani, that they're doing okay. Andre Ayew, they're doing okay, but you know, there's no real continuity at that club. And I just believe, when I think about it, I can't believe that Lyle hasn't got a look in. So, yeah, that's that. Anything else? Oh, yeah. Anthony. There's been a lot written about Anthony lately. And again, I'm not a fan of £100 million players not being given a season to whatever. But if I'm being totally honest, what we're seeing on the pitch isn't good enough from him. He's so interested in the flicks and tricks, and I honestly do believe he gets away with murder. I honestly do believe that. So I saw someone tweet, I forgot who it was, saying Pepe got it worse than him. And Pepe's got, 49 goals and assists in his first 2 seasons, like combined. But yet we ripped him. Whereas Anthony he just keeps getting away with it, Every game's at least gonna cut in once and shoot. Other than that, he's not really giving much. And I just think that we should keep the energy the same. Let's keep the energy the same. When people are playing badly, like, call it out. But if they're playing well, then do you know what I mean? Let's just keep that energy. But yeah, I think that's it from me. Oh my gosh, just a 15-minute video. I feel like this video might be too short. But if I'm doing one every single day. So yeah, I'm not going to label the episodes anymore. I'm only going to label the episodes where I have a guest. So, but you're going to get videos every single day. So I hope that you watch it. I hope that you share. I hope that you guys comment. But every day there's going to be something to talk about. And comment what's next, what's the next topic. And yeah, guys, I'm out.